Luke chapter 20. And it came about, on one of those days while he was teaching the people in the temple, and proclaiming the gospel, that the priests and the scribes came forward with the elders, and they spoke to him, saying, Tell us, by what kind of authority do you do these things? Or who is it who gave you this authority? And he answered and said to them, I in turn will ask you one matter, and you make an answer to me. The immersion of John, was it from heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we should say from heaven, he will say, Why did you not believe him? But if we should say from men, all the people will stone us, for it is held for John to be a prophet. And they answered that they did not know where it was from. And Jesus said to them, Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to speak this parable to the people. A man planted a vineyard and let it out to vine dressers. And he took a journey abroad for a long time. And in due course he assigned a servant to the farmers, so that they should give him something from the fruit of the vineyard. But the farmers flogged him, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a different servant. But when they had beaten him as well, and treated him shamefully, they sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a third, and when they had wounded him as well, they threw him out. Then the master of the vineyard said, What shall I do? I will send my richly loved son. Perhaps on seeing him they will have respect. But on seeing him, the farmers reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come on, let's murder him, so that the inheritance can become ours. So having thrown him outside the vineyard, they murdered him. What, therefore, will the master of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy these farmers, and give the vineyard to others. And on hearing they said, May it not be. But looking fixedly at them, he said, What then is this which has been written? The stone that the builders rejected, this has become head of the corner? Everybody who falls on that stone will be broken into pieces, but on whomever it will fall, it will grind him into powder. And the senior priests and the scribes looked for a way to seize him at that same hour, but they were afraid because they knew that he had spoken this parable against them. And having taken careful watch, they sent out secret agents, feigning themselves to be righteous, in order that they might seize on his remarks, with a view to informing on him to the administration and the authority of the president. And they questioned him, saying, Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly, and you have no regard for character, but you teach the path of God with truth. Is it lawful for us to give census tax to Caesar or not? But discerning their duplicity, he said to them, Why are you testing me? Show me a denarian. Whose image and inscription does it have? And in answer they said, Caesar's. And he said to them, Then give the things of Caesar to Caesar, and the things of God to God. And they did not have the acumen to seize on his speech in front of the people. So, having marveled at his answer, they were silent. Then some of the Sadducees, those contradicting there is to be a resurrection, came to him and questioned him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote for us, If anybody's brother should die having a wife, and he should die childless, then his brother should take his wife and raise up seed for his brother. Now suppose there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died childless. Then the second took her as a wife, and he died childless. And the third likewise took her, and similarly the 7 also left no children and died. And last of all the woman died as well. So in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For the 7 had her as a wife. And in answer Jesus said to them, The sons of this aeon marry, and are given in marriage. But those who will be counted worthy to attain to that aeon, and to the resurrection from among the dead, neither marry nor are they given in marriage. for they do not have the capacity to die anymore, for they are like the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But that the dead are raised, even Moses pointed this out at the bush when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. But he is God not of the dead, but of the living, for all live by means of him. Then some of the scribes in answering said, Teacher, you have spoken well. And after that they no longer dared to ask him anything. And he said to them, How do they proclaim the Christ to be the son of David, seeing that David himself says in a scroll of Psalms, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. David therefore calls him Lord, and how is he his son? Then, as all the people were listening, he said to his disciples, Turn your attention away from the scribes, those wanting to walk about in robes, and liking salutations in the marketplaces, and prime seats in the synagogues, and prime couches at banquets, who swallow up widows' houses, and for exhibition pray at vast length. These will receive a stronger judgment.